got here. I am in the Starbucks and I'm sitting at one of the tables in the corner here. Actually, it's not too far from the door, so I am waiting in here because it's cold. Anyway, just want to let you know. See you in a bit. Love you. Bye-bye.
You like that bread?
I did.
I'm glad you did, babes.
Banana bread.
I brought you over some sourdough banana bread that I made last night. And it is the morning. We just had some.
Yeah, it's chocolate banana bread with cranberries.
Yes.
And some matcha green tea.
It's sourdough, too.
It's sourdough. It's really good. Oh,
The matcha tea was inspired because I was watching Selena Plus Chef, Selena Gomez's cooking show, and somebody, I forgot who it was, gave her this recipe for these vegan banana chocolate cookies with matcha in it, but it was a lot that they used in the recipe. And when I saw the amount of matcha tea I got from Walmart, I started thinking to myself, this was like $7.
wow.
So maybe I should just use a little bit of this and try doing some banana bread instead.
Oh, well, I remember I told you about my idea of another banana dessert. I made these when I was younger, but they were they were supposed to be like bars, like cookies, but they were like kind of like a consistency of a cake. But they're called black bottom banana bars. But I want to look for a recipe that is different from the one that I had, because I think I don't know. I think in the recipe that I looked at, they were supposed to be crispier. I'm not sure if that's correct, but and I don't even remember where that recipe was that my teacher at one time found. But I thought it would be kind of fun to have to maybe make a black bottom banana bar recipe with possibly matcha green tea, or doing something that we have the same consistency as a sourdough bread, and then make them into like a brownie batter. I don't know.
I
make them
have
into brownies.
been contemplating over the last few days about going on like a strict diet soon.
Really?
Yeah, part of the reason is because it's not too long until summer.
Yeah.
And I have been eating a lot since the start of the pandemic.
Ah, yes.
Plus, I haven't been outside as much.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And there's rumors
Yes.
that we might be out of the woods soon. So I don't just want to be like a fat fuck by the time the pandemic
But you're not
is
fat,
over.
though.
I could lose a few pounds, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Babes,
Yes.
I had lunch with a friend on Tuesday. This was the third time since society shut down.
Yeah.
So it's, to some perspective, in regular times, I probably would get together with friends like twice a week to get something to eat, right?
Uh-huh. And I would see you at least 3 times a week.
Right.
Yeah.
In any event, we had lunch. It was a fun time. I go home. A really nice day out, too. But I return to my place, get a phone call from a friend.
Yeah.
No, he texted me and then I called him back. Anyways. He told me that Joe Biden announced that the rollout of the vaccine is going quicker than originally thought, and that everybody who wants to get vaccinated should be able to have access to it by the end of May. Or we'll at least have enough doses. Now, who knows how they're going to be distributed?
Yeah.
Because before then, our local news was saying that somebody in my category would have to wait until at least July.
Okay.
We don't know yet, but that timeline could be moved up. So I'm starting to think that there's a possibility that society will reopen by the end of summer. Because it's going to take a little bit longer than the end of May to get it distributed to everybody, and people have to get comfortable with going outside of their homes again.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to be hopeful.
I am too. I mean, I have my own opinions about this vaccine, but But I really think that after almost a year of this, we're pretty tired of it. I think it's a lot of people want to get out. They want to work again. They want to find work. They want to go to venues and sit in a restaurant indoors and just have a good time. And I think people are really sick and tired of it. And something has to give. Because I didn't never thought that we were going to be in this thing for a long time either. I just, I think we're all hoping that this, and not just our state, but the other 49 states. I'm hoping that this will end up happening for us this year.
As you know,
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time in my own head coming up with different disaster scenarios.
Yeah.
And this was one that I never expected. I never thought that society would shut down like it did.
Yeah. Well, once this is over, we're going to look back and say we survived it. We survived this, we survived the time where it was really, really hard for all of us. And I think we're going to come out on top.
I hope so.
We always do.
I don't know if I'd say that.
Well, the country has in many other disasters.
Okay, I thought you meant the two of us.
Right. I meant the country, Bubs.
Gotcha.
Not just the two of us.
Okay. Well, good, babes, good.
Yeah.
I know I talk about TYT, but Anna was giving Michael Moore some shit last night.
Oh, well, good. Somebody should.
Because of his comments about Texas. She was like,
Texas reopening?
Yeah. She said, well, I disagree with them reopening, but Michael Moore's being really rude about it.
Wow.
And he's saying some really defamatory stuff about the people of Texas.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So here's what I think about that, right?
And I disagreed with her on that. I liked what Michael Moore said. Why?
I mean, it sounds like another elitist that's telling another state what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Moore isn't exactly a friend of, a friend of the states that want to reopen, obviously. I mean, of course he would speak out about it. That doesn't surprise me. I think that that was the governor decided to open them up. I think that they are doing what they felt like it was necessary to do, and I don't think that people should step in and say that you shouldn't do it.
I think we need a national plan.
I don't think we need a national plan. I think that the states have the right to open up how they want to open up, and I don't think that people should step in and tell them what to do. I don't know that the whole country needs to be involved in it.
I thought it was funny that Michael Moore spoke out against them, though.
Well,
it's like, you don't want to mess with our power line. We don't want to mess with you.
I'm glad that she said something, though. I think she had every right to tell him off.
Oh.
I mean, I don't listen to TYT, and most likely I'll never listen to them, but I think that she had every right to say, you know what, shut your mouth. She's
usually spot on, but on this I disagreed with her.
Why, though? Because Michael Moore isn't exactly, Michael Moore is just some guy that is an outright leftist and that has made documentaries against the right. So why should she not? Why should she not give him guff about it?
Because I think he was just trying to have some fun and get a rise out of people.
Yeah, but
and I don't believe there's anything wrong with that.
I think there is. I think that he should just shut up.
Oh.
Honestly, people should just shut their mouths and just take care of themselves and not worry about what other people are doing.
At some point, we are going to explore his movies.
I watched two of them.
Which ones?
I watched Fahrenheit 9/11 and I watched Super Size. No, I'm sorry, that was one. Super Size Me was done by somebody else, right?
Morgan Spurlock.
Okay, yeah, that was a very disturbing. That was a very disturbing documentary. And I also watched Fahrenheit 9/11, which was the only Michael Moore one I watched. What was the other one you liked?
There's a few, but the one I really want to show you is his first one, Roger and Me.
That's the one about Roger Ebert?
Life Itself is about Ebert. Okay. Roger and Me is about Roger Smith. And the whole premise is Michael Moore grew up in, I want to say, was it Lansing, Michigan?
Oh.
I haven't seen this movie since our high school teacher showed it to us. And they used to have GM plants there back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But Roger Smith, who was the president of GM, decided to move all these car manufacturing plants down to Mexico. So the movie is about Michael Moore interviewing people who were affected by that and trying to get an interview with Roger Smith.
Moving American plants to Mexico?
Yes.
Okay.
And he wanted to know why Roger Smith did that. So he's trying to get an interview with him throughout the movie.
Okay.
Yes.
I see.
So someday we'll watch On Me. And then we'll call that episode Jaylo on Me.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you... Why this whole trend of putting my name in every title?
I don't know, babes.
I don't understand.
Because I think it's funny. Maybe that's why.
Well, why don't you put your name in the title?
It's been on a few, babes.
A couple.
It's been on a few.
Only 2.
No. I recently made an episode called Powerless Rick.
Which one?
That's the one where I lost power.
Oh, was that the one? Was that the one we did like a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Powerless Rick.
All right. Fair enough.
Thank you, Jaylo.
Yes.
Babes.
Yes.
I am a little bit conflicted.
Aren't we all?
I think we should talk about this particular issue, though.
Actually, I'm not conflicted, but go ahead.
You had said to me, what if we watch films that we viewed a lot as kids?
Mm-hmm. Or teens. Yes.
Now, this is the part that threw me off.
Yes.
Because when I think of a kid, as far as film is concerned, I think of pre-puberty.
Yeah, but maybe I wasn't clear, and I should have said that, because when we were teenagers, we were still kids. I mean, and I should have said not just pre-puberty, but after puberty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
But I should have been clear about that. So
yes, you should have. But let me explain my dilemma.
All right.
I was a big fan of this movie called Bugsy, starring Warren Beatty and Annette Bening. Mm-hmm. And I really want to show it to you. Mm-hmm. A couple things. There's a lot of violence in the movie.
Yeah.
Plus, in many ways, it is historically inaccurate. There's some true stuff in it, but they take a lot of liberties in the film.
But they've done that with a lot of movies.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I mean, this one would not be the exception to the rule.
I know. If we're going to be intellectually honest, this is a film I watched a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
Now, a movie I saw a good amount of a teenager that might be a good replacement is Swingers.
Yeah.
Which I do want to show you at some point.
Okay.
But it feels less honest to show you Swingers, even though I think you'd probably like it better than Bugsy.
Okay.
So, I guess the question I have for you is, what is the goal with this? Is this goal to show the other person something that represents where we were as kids? Or is the goal to show the other person something that we watched as a kid, but we think the other person will really, really like?
I think it's kind of a tie. It doesn't have to be the movies that we watched when we were kids that we actually liked. It could be either or. I mean, I don't know.
What I'm trying to say is my goal to try to impress you, or is my goal to really try to show you something that I was super into as a kid? Because I don't know if Bugsy will impress you, but I think it's a great movie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be married to that idea of, showing me something that you would like only. You could show me something that you think I would like and that you do like also. So
there's a chance that you'll like this movie, though.
It's not,
There's a chance that you will dig it.
Okay.
But the violence in it, not throughout the movie, is a little bit over the top. It's not like From Dusk Till Dawn over the top, though.
I thought about showing you Lean On Me because I watched it as a kid a lot.
Oh.
But I thought about movies that you probably wouldn't be familiar with. And I thought, well, I wasn't like super young when this came out, but I was roughly 14, 15 years old. And that was they were a part of my formative years.
My Jaylo the Hero and...
My Father the Hero and Babe. Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, you don't have to be married to it.
See, in some ways, I do want to show you Bugsy because I think there's a 50-50 chance that you'll like it. But it is a film that I watched, one of the most viewed films as a kid. I remember everybody would say to me, "You're watching that movie again." Like my sister, my mom, dad.
That's how I felt when I was forced to watch My Follower the Hero, but now I really like it.
Mm-hmm. And I would talk about the movie. I'd bring it up in conversation a lot as a kid.
Wow.
So how do you feel about me showing you Bugsy?
I don't know. You could, or you don't have, like I said, you don't have to. I mean, if you're really that conflicted about that movie.
But maybe one would make the argument that it's a good thing that I'm conflicted. Mm-hmm. Because it is a testament to the filmmakers. Right?
Okay, yeah.
If I wasn't conflicted, if I just said right up front that I'm not going to show it to you, mm-hmm. it might be a sign that the film has no redeeming qualities.
I don't think so. Maybe it's just that you didn't know whether to show it and you just couldn't decide it. You couldn't decide yet and you decided to show me something else.
Yeah, this movie weekend has been a little bit challenging to me, deciding what to include and not include from my list. So,
okay.
As it sounds right now,
yeah,
I want to show you Bugsy tonight and Soap Dish tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. Now, a few alternatives I was thinking of is showing you Swingers tonight and Good Will Hunting tomorrow. Mm-hmm. A movie that was very, very close on this list, but didn't quite make the cut, was Forbidden Planet from 1956.
You told me about that one.
It had a young Leslie Nielsen.
Wow.
And one of the main reasons I decided not to show it to you
yeah.
was if you watch the movie, mm-hmm. at least to me, it feels like Gene Roddenberry, who created Star Trek, mm-hmm. probably took a few things, or let's say legally was very inspired by this movie.
Right.
Right, to put it nicely.
Okay.
And if we're going to watch DS9 this weekend.
Yeah, because I do want to get back to that.
Because we're almost done.
Yeah, we are. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it.
There's like 7 or 8 episodes left.
I thought there was more than that, like 14, right?
No.
No?
Not at this point.
Wow.
We're in the middle of the 10-part finale.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Why did I think it was 15 more episodes? Okay, it was 10. Yeah, because we already watched 2 episodes in that finale.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm conflicted. And part of me thought for a minute mm-hmm. of showing you Raging Bull. Mm-hmm. But I really, even though it's going to be, you might find it difficult, I do want to do a night where we watch Taxi Driver followed by Raging Bull.
I don't think it's a good idea, Bubs. It just sounds like two. One of them is pretty heavy, and the other one is also questionable. I don't know. I personally, here's what I told you before.
Go ahead.
I thought maybe that since you were having a conflict with your movie choices,
but which I still think is a good thing.
Okay.
It's a good problem.
I just thought maybe I would show you my picks tonight, and so that would give you an extra day to figure out what you want to show me.
No, because then I'm just going to analyze it for another day.
I don't think so.
I will. I know how I am.
No, I know that, but I mean, I just think that I shouldn't force you to think of a movie for tonight. I mean,
what I'm leaning toward right now, I'm misspeaking today. Is Bugsy tonight and Soap Dish tomorrow night.
Okay.
But we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
But then I think, well, if the goal is to impress you, mm-hmm. then the PC thing to do would be show you Swingers. Okay. But do you really want me to go all woke on you?
Not really. You know how I feel about PC culture.
Yeah. Because, by the way, Swingers is a great movie.
Okay.
And I saw it a lot as a kid. But it feels intellectually dishonest to me to choose Swingers over Bugsy. Even though I think you'd like Swingers more.
Okay. And why do you think I would like Swingers more?
It's more funny.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do?
Oh, I just hit my arm there.
Oh my goodness.
It's okay, my elbow.
There's hardly any violence in it.
Yeah.
There's like one scene where there's a gun, but that's it. We don't have to, and again, maybe this is a good or a bad thing. We don't have to wrestle with the reality of the movie, right?
Right.
In the sense that Bugsy is based on a real person.
Yeah.
But they took a lot of liberties with the movie.
Right.
Right.
I mean, and who says that you actually have to do Bugsy and Soap Dish? It could be Swingers and Soap Dish. It could be, if you decide to do Bugsy, it could be Bugsy and the other one you said. I forgot. I mean, like I said, I mean, you don't have to be married to your original idea.
Yeah.
You could actually say, oh, maybe Bugsy would be better for a different night.
I think that the Bugsy is the more intellectually honest choice, if we're going to be honest, though.
Well, I don't really care whether it's intellectually honest or not, if you ask me. Sometimes I just want to watch a movie and not worry about thinking about how real it is or how real it isn't.
I mean, it's honest from the point of view of, I really did watch this film a lot. I really did wear out the cassette for it. I really did remember when my mom bought me the copy. I really do remember the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
At the time, I haven't seen it since I was 12.
Yeah.
But there was a point where I could quote almost the entire movie, line for line.
Oh, this is going to be it's going to be insane.
And I've seen Swingers a number of times.
Yeah.
I can tell you about when I first saw it. But I didn't have the cassette. I rented it a few times.
Yeah.
So it was part of my life, but it wasn't as big of a...
Wow, you wore out your video?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I remember my mom bought it, and it was in like this special plastic container that was covering the outside of the
videotape.
It was of the videotape, but the videotape was in one of those regular sleeves.
Yeah.
And the plastic covered that sleeve.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when people would come over, I'd show them specific scenes from the movie, and I'd want to talk with them about it. And my dad was dating different women.
Yeah.
Oftentimes I'd pull them aside and say, have you ever seen the movie Bugsy? What did you think of this scene? How do you feel about him starting Las Vegas? I would really do this.
You know, I actually thought about, I just thought about another movie I could have shown you, but I decided not to.
What's that?
I thought about showing you the Disney version of Tom and Huck.
Oh, I've seen that. That's not that good.
Okay, well, I liked it, but there's a reason why I liked it. Anyway, that's besides the point. So I decided, no.
Okay.
I also thought about showing you Ladybugs with
Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield, and also one of the Mighty Ducks movies.
Oh, I got to tell you a story to tell you about Rodney.
Yeah.
I'm having lunch with my friend this week.
Yes.
He knows somebody who is a fan of the movie Easy Money.
Uh-huh.
Not my favorite Rodney Dangerfield film, but it's good.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend tells me he takes all the scenes of this lady hitting on Rodney Dangerfield.
Uh-huh.
I think there's some nudity in it. And he edits it together and posts it on YouTube, sends the link to his friend, and immediately Google takes down the video.
Why?
They said something about nudity and violating community standards.
Well, that's interesting because they'll accept other stuff, but they won't accept that one.
Yeah, like I search for nude pictures on YouTube on Google all the time. I can find that. I can.
I know you can.
Oh.
So do you?
I do, of course.
Oh, jeez.
No, for tastefully done stuff.
Right,
I search for myself.
You might be implicating yourself, Bubs.
Oh, what do you
have? No, but I mean, that's interesting. Why I don't understand why they would take. I mean, that one was supposedly tastefully done, right? Because they were just acting, right?
It's a gray area, but I don't know.
I wonder that though, right? Like for really controversial scenes, like nude scenes, or even scenes where there's sexual violence, or I mean. What constitutes a tastefully done scene when the scenes are pretty disturbing? I wonder what constitutes that.
I think it's all in the eye of the beholder.
I mean, is it the camera angle? the positioning of the actors.
It's also the context of the character, right? So if I'm a husband and you're playing my wife, and we're having sex because we want to have a child to share our love with the world, that's much different than you're a hooker and I'm just some John.
Right.
Right.
But I mean, like, for a scene, like, I remember, so I know we're kind of going on a rabbit hole here, but...
You are, go ahead.
No, but I just thought of it, since we're talking about movies. But Dakota Fanning, when she was, 12, I think, she was 12 at the time, very young, she was in a movie called Hound Dog, and that was in the Cannes Film Festival, and there was some controversy behind it, because in the movie, there was a scene where she was raped. But she said that it was tastefully done. And I don't know what that means.
Have you ever seen that movie?
I have not seen it. I don't want to see it. I have not seen it, but I've heard about it. And that was one of the controversial movies that was premiere at the Cannes Film Festival.
Nice.
But I don't know. I don't know what she meant by it being tastefully done. Like, I would imagine she wasn't hurt during the scene, because you can't do that when you're... I would imagine that there's protocol when you're making like a Hollywood movie that you can't actually do that to a minor. I would imagine.
Yes, it's called child pornography.
It is
that's against the law.
It is against the law. I mean, you can't do that. So
get rid of all those images on your computer, babes.
I don't have any.
Okay, good.
I can't see them anyway. Why'd I have them?
I don't know.
But anyway, I mean, what I wonder just what that means. For a scene, a disturbing scene.
It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tastefully done. I don't know about that.
Cool.
But anyway.
So we shall see how tonight's turns out.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
I still think my first idea was better, Bubs.
What was your first idea?
To give you my picks tonight and then...
No, because, again, I'm just going to be thinking about it, babes. And then I'm just...
Well, because, I mean, I don't want to force you to show me a movie tonight if you don't know what you want to show.
But this is why I'm going with Bugsy, is because it feels more honest to me to show that to you.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, pulling out some like Disney movie and saying, "Oh, I used to watch Fievel as a real little kid, so here it is."
Fievel is not a Disney movie.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. I thought about I don't know. I mean, I get what you're talking about. I mean, I know you want to be honest and say, "Hey, I actually did watch this a lot as a kid." So
yes,
yeah.
And plus, I've been wanting to rewatch it for a while. I almost, babes, watched it last night at like 11 to give it a preview, but I felt like that would be too easy to do. Right, to review the movie the night before and to say, well, this doesn't really hold up, or it does.
Well, I mean, even if you did, it wouldn't bother me so much.
Oh.
It would probably bother you, but it wouldn't bother me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Eventually, we do have to do a biopic weekend. Don't you think?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yes.
It's an idea.
And it's a good one.
Yes.
Yes, big boys. Next weekend, is that going to be our documentary experience?
We could do that. I also had that idea about watching some like high school type movies. Like, remember when I told you I really wanted to see the Fast Times at Ridgemont High? And then you wanted to show me something else. But the documentary thing would be really good because I really want to show you Standing in the Shadows of Motown and The Wrecking Crew. They're both really good documentaries.
Nice.
Yeah.
We had discussed about the following weekend doing a Robin Williams thing.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. But now we're just getting way off into the future.
Yes.
Yes.
It's good to think about that stuff. I mean, we're always thinking about ideas about movies, and the cinema roulette thing is really fun too.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, be a boss. Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
That's right.
Alana.
Yes. What?
I'm very far to the left.
I don't think you're that far. I think you're not as far as you think you are, Bubs.
Really?
No. Well, think about it, Bubs. I mean, if you were like super far leftist, I probably wouldn't be having a conversation with you about this.
No, but I'm anti-war. I'm pro-gay and transgender rights.
Yeah, but you also have some conservative ideas.
I do. I don't think.
But I don't think you're so far to the left that I can't. I mean, because the leftists that I've talked to are like super lefty, and they don't budge from their ideas. That's what I would say.
I would tell you this: the friend I had lunch with this week is a conservative guy.
Yeah,
and you've met him.
Yes. And
in the middle of our lunch, we start talking about different ideas, and we're having a friendly exchange, right? Mm-hmm. Giving him a little bit of pushback, and he says, you're the only lefty I can talk to about these ideas. Everybody else is too offended. And we might have a conversation about it, and you'll challenge me on some stuff, but you won't like walk off or start just yelling at me.
No. I don't think that helps at all.
No, I don't either.
I mean, both of us agree that there has to be ideas exchanged in the marketplace of ideas.
Yes.
And I don't think that calling someone a leftist bigot and then storming off is going to help anything.
Or right-wing bigot.
Or accusing a person on the right of being a white supremacist when they're not. I mean, I don't think that's right. And I know of some. I have a liberal friend that I have talked about this, and he said that he was talking to someone that he knew that was very conservative, and their idea was to attack the person, and then just storm off. And I'm like, how is it going to help anything? You haven't had a friendly exchange with this person because this person refuses to do it.
Wait a minute. You have a liberal friend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I have liberal friends.
When was the last time you talked to this person?
Not for a while, but I do remember this conversation that we had the last time I was in his, one of the last times I was in his house.
So this was before we met then?
Yes, that was before we met.
Wow, you knew a liberal.
I have liberal friends.
Okay.
I would imagine that the one friend that I will not mention this person's name that I have is probably more likely leaning to towards the left also.
Nice.
But the interesting thing is that she goes to church, so that's kind of
okay. So Alana, I won't blow up her spot. Alana has a long-term friend that she hasn't talked to in a little while, but suffice it to say, during a conversation, it came out that your friend leans a little bit more to the left.
I don't know. She might.
That was the implication I got.
Yeah, I believe that at least one of her relatives is.
Nice.
But that's not nice. It's very concerning to me. But that's besides the point.
Okay, when you were over at this guy's house, the liberal dude,
yeah,
was it hard to be there knowing his politics?
No, because he agreed with me that you can have conversations like this and not be angry with each other and still be friends. I mean, at the time he was my tutor. And
okay. That guy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I've never met him, but you've talked about him before.
Yes, I have. He is my tutor, and and we just were talking about this, and he's one of those people that I feel that I could probably talk to without feeling judged.
Yeah.
I mean, I told him about things about me, and he didn't tell me, well, you can't be my student anymore because you
love the Confederate flag or anything.
Hey, I never said that.
No, I'm joking, babes.
I think there's been some really bad misconceptions about other people with different ideas that has been thrown around a lot. But I feel like he was one of those people that I could talk to and I wouldn't feel judged. I mean, we would talk about different ideas, but we wouldn't storm out, and
what's really weird to me, babes,
yeah,
is the friends of mine who you've met,
yeah, that
you've liked, all seem to be pretty far left, and the friends of mine who you've met who you find a little bit creepy seem to be the right, you hear about seem to be the right wing.
I don't think it has anything to do with politics, though. I just think it has to do with their personalities.
Right, but have you ever thought about that?
No.
That it's my left-leaning friends who you get along with better, and the right ones you find creepy.
Yeah, but let me give you something to think about, though.
Go ahead.
I may get along with them, but when it comes to politics, they probably wouldn't hear me.
No, some maybe not, but most of these people would.
You think so?
Yes.
They wouldn't like storm out and call me a racist or anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
But that, I mean, that doesn't, I mean, I haven't had any political discussions with any of these people, so I don't think it has anything to do with politics. I think it has everything to do with personality. Personality over politics.
So there was a reason I brought this up.
Okay.
I'm very left-leaning. One thing that I think that both sides do is cancel culture. But this week there was another glaring example from the left.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm, of course, talking about your family doctor.
By the way,
Dr. Seuss.
I have an update on that.
Go ahead.
So Dr. Seuss was, a lot of places were trying to cancel him on his birthday of all days, which was March 2nd.
Happy birthday, you're being canceled.
But as a result of all that cancel culture nonsense, Dr. Seuss has been the top seller on Amazon.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and I'm like, good.
Okay, let's give some context, though.
Right.
His estate came out and said that there are 6 books that he wrote from, I think, the 1930s.
To 1950s.
Yes, they weren't his popular books. That they thought were problematic and were no longer going to be made available.
So I didn't hear about his estate coming out with it, but I heard about the Virginia school system that was wanting to ban it, and I forgot other online retailers.
Yeah, and their, I believe, argument was there are racist depictions of Chinese people.
Oh, jeez.
Which it very well could be. I've not researched
Well, first off, I did hear someone read the title of it. And it was one about this Chinese guy eating with chopsticks.
Yeah.
I don't see anything racist about it because some Asian people like to eat Chinese food or Japanese food with chopsticks if they know how to do it, because I don't know how to do it. I don't see anything wrong with it. It would be different if they were talking about their eyes, right? Like,
well, I don't know what the pictures look like.
No, but it was something about a Chinese man eating with chopsticks.
Right, but what I'm saying is that may have been the title, but you don't know what the pictures look like in the book. It could be that they had.
I don't, but then they always find the people that are canceling always find something to cancel somebody on, and if it isn't chopsticks, it's going to be something else. You know, no matter what the pictures look like.
What I'm trying to say is, I have not read these books. They could, in fact, be racist, for all I know. What I am aware of is that Dr. Seuss was pretty far to the left politically, if you know anything about his past.
I figured that he would be because of the Lorax, but I think that his books are, the ones that I did read were fun to read, so I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, he was a very left-leaning guy. So it's always odd when the left takes a shot at one of their own.
Yeah, they eat their own. They do. They eat their own.
The right does it too, though.
I think the left does it more. I have heard a little bit of examples of the right doing it, but a lot of it...
Mike Pence.
Huh?
Mike Pence.
No,
ahead.
I'm not talking about Mike Pence.
Of course not. Hey, babe, stop. You know what I wonder, babe? Stop. You know what I'm curious about, babe, that I was thinking about this week?
What?
You know how you tickle when you get offensive?
No, I'm not trying to be offensive. I only do it to you, by the way.
Okay. And whenever I bring up something, you're like, well, you do this.
Well, I realized, okay, so here, let me explain this, and then we have to go on with what we're going to say.
Then I got to share my thought, because you just interrupted me.
I was actually in the middle of sharing my thought. But anyway, what was I going to say now? I realized over the years that being on defense doesn't always get your point across. And I've just been noticing that a lot, and I've decided that that I'm going to take in a more offensive tone.
So instead of working at yourself, you'd rather be offensive. But
No. I mean, I'm basically playing hardball.
Yes, okay.
With other people, because sometimes it doesn't hit them until instead of me saying, "Hey, that's not true. You stop it," right? Instead of saying that, I'm saying, "Well, you know what? Maybe you should look at yourself."
Another tactic might be to say, You know what? I'm going to think about that. You may have a good point there. Let me think about this.
Yeah, but sometimes your points aren't good.
No, they're very good most of the time.
No, they're not.
But what I was wondering the other day, babes, is
Yes.
I bet you were one of those kids when the teacher said you did something wrong, you were probably like, what about you and your text?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't do that.
I didn't. I was scared of them. No, I didn't. That's not funny.
Okay.
No, I was not like that. I was when I was younger, much younger, I was shy in class. I had friends, but I was like, I had a particular teacher that I won't mention her name because she, I don't want to mention her name.
Miss Choke's on deck. Ah, don't, babes.
You be good,
I'm good.
You be good. No. You be good. Okay,
I'm
tickle.
good. I'm good. Of course, because I was trying to tickle back.
Ah.
Go ahead.
Are you going to be good?
I am. I'm always a good boy.
But she freaked me out. She scared me very much.
That was the yeller?
No, not the yeller. The yeller was actually a very nice lady. I'm talking about the one that I had in the resource room that I used to go to when I was a kid. She was scary. She had some really controversial tactics as how she would deal with the kids in our resource room that got in trouble. That she scared me. She scared me very, very. She was one of those like militant. She's one of those like tyrannical teachers. She wasn't. There was. I mean, and when she left my school, I was very glad that she did. But I was just tired. Over the years, it took a long time. I decided that I wasn't going to be one of those people that never questioned anything, never had my own thoughts, because when I was growing up, as I've said before, in possibly another podcast, I grew up in an environment where I wasn't allowed to have to speak my own mind or to question a lot of things that were being told to me when I was a kid, because that's how it was. Children were to be seen and not heard, basically. At least according to how I was raised.
That's how I would raise my kids. But I don't think I could handle that environment if I was told.
Why would you raise your kids like that? I mean, wouldn't you want your kids? Wouldn't you want, if you had a child, wouldn't you want them to be able to question things?
No, I'm being humorous.
You're being facetious.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I didn't catch that.
Of course not.
It wasn't all that funny.
Okay, what ifs? Anyway,
but no, Dr. Seuss, I thought it was ridiculous, but I think when, so I was thinking about this last night when you said that you think that the cancel culture thing is going to stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
The people who are doing the most canceling, doesn't matter what side it is, the people who are doing the most canceling, I think that they haven't figured out that if you cancel somebody, if you try to cancel someone, they're going to figure out a way to up their sales. People are going to buy their products. They're going to find another platform to post stuff. They're going to find another way for people to reach out to them. So there's really no point.
It's not only that, but to a rational person,
yeah,
I look at people who are all behind rewriting our history, whether it's whitewashing Dr. Seuss or, I don't know, taking down all these statues of presidents.
Absolutely.
Or wanting to edit movies. Like, you guys are just idiots.
Yeah.
You're bad for our country.
So this...
Right? So they don't earn brownie points with me.
Well, I'm glad...
And I imagine with a lot of other people, it's the same thing.
Well, I'm glad you're on the same page, because it's going to segue into what I was going to say about 1984, that I'm at the part where Winston Smith is being tortured by O'Brien. And he was talking about doublethink. Making this person think that they are insane. And in a sense, they're rewriting their thoughts. They're rewriting what's actually going on in reality. They're creating another reality for this person. And they're saying, well, you didn't really think that, right? You didn't really think that. I actually was holding up 5 fingers, right? I wasn't holding up 4 fingers. So basically what they're doing is they're trying to trick his mind into thinking, hey, this is not what I was thinking.
Which is easy to do when you don't know where you're from. when you rewrite the past, it makes it easier to confuse people.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh my, and thinking about the episode that we watched in TNG, right?
Chain of Command, one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, how can you just imagine those interrogations that people would go through? And by the way, I still haven't found out what that room was for, so I'm still trying to figure that out, Bubs.
In 1984.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that. I'm like, that is exactly what they're trying to do. It's awful.
And it's selective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these people, I'm assuming, don't go after people that they're fans of.
Absolutely not.
Like, if you're canceling people on the left, most likely you're going to look over the stuff that Joe Biden is doing or Kamala Harris and excuse it.
Exactly.
But you won't excuse somebody like Louis C.K.
Very, you're right. It is very selective and it's very hypocritical.
Yeah. If you're somebody on the right who's into canceling people on the left, you'll go after celebrities and say they shouldn't say this, they shouldn't do that, and completely forgive Marjorie Taylor Greene. So it's just so inconsistent too. It's not only do you want to rewrite the past, but you're not even consistent about how you do it.
What about going after people that are canceling people? I think that
that's going to happen.
I hope so, because this is just ridiculous.
Yes.
And I think now that there's pushback from both sides and saying, hey, did you know that J.K. Rowling was almost canceled?
I did, and she's super lib, and it was like liberals wanted to cancel her.
But that's the thing, though. A lot of these people, the ones that are so into canceling, they're eating up their own.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't even realize, well, wait a minute, this person has supported a lot of your causes, but yet you will look the other way when other people are doing something wrong, mm-hmm. and you won't even consider, well, this person may have a different view, but they're also a part of, they're also on our side or whatever it is.
Here's an idea. Why not talk to them? Why not engage them in conversation?
They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it. I mean, I think that there is major pushback on both sides. And I'm glad that there are major pushback on both sides, because it's absolutely, I mean, even Naomi Wolf, I don't know much about this lady, but she's pretty far left. But she came out and said, canceling everybody, rewriting history is so detrimental for this country. It shouldn't be done. And she's not exactly a proponent for the right either. So
I think she's been on Democracy Now! A bunch of times, hasn't she?
I don't watch Democracy Now!
Okay.
But no, she went on Tucker Carlson the other day and actually.
God. What? Stop it! I'm not a fan of his.
Ah.
He supports white supremacy.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
You should look him up, Bubs.
So we go through it again?
No.
So, babes, stop tickling.
Can I make my point?
You can make your point.
No, we don't have to go through it again.
And you know that he grew up super... Stop. You knew that he grew up super rich, right?
I don't care. Okay, can you listen, please?
But he's going to talk about elitism. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. That sounds like a person that has never watched a show and doesn't want to...
I can break it down for you if you want to.
I don't want you to.
Of course not. But talk about Naomi Klein.
Wolf.
Naomi Wolf.
No, she came out and said that this was just not... this wasn't helping anything. And I thought that was very interesting, because she's definitely far left.
Uh-oh.
But I think that... I think a lot of people are waking up to this, and they're just super tired about it.
Yes.
And I hope you're right that it will eventually cool down.
Spade boys. Are we ever going to do a news exchange again?
I don't know.
I thought of some parameters.
Okay.
Think about this. We do 4 days instead of 3, and we have to watch the source that the other one tells us to. But in addition to that...
Or we don't even have to watch the source. We could, if we decide to do it, whenever that is, we could even read like publications, op-eds, newspaper articles. We don't even have to watch necessarily a source.
That's a possibility. But in addition to whatever source we're watching or reading, we can watch our own favorite news programs too, or read our favorite periodicals. So you're not just getting Amy Goodman all week long.
But you're getting the both sides of the issue.
And I'm not getting the OxyContin dude.
Oh, jeez. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
Don't cancel me, babes.
I just might. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't believe in that. How could I cancel you?
I don't know, babes.
Canceling banana bread.
Oh my goodness, you.
It's really good, everybody. It's delicious. I could taste a hint of the tea, but it wasn't very strong.
Yes.
It was really good.
Well, thank you.
Did you put nuts in them?
No, I put cranberries in it. Cranberries,
and then you did you make it with sesame seeds?
No.
I mean not sesame seeds, but flax seeds.
No, the weird thing was, babes, I couldn't find my flax seeds, which is my egg replacement, and then I remembered, well, bananas are used as a binding agent too. And you can, and I'm sure you could bind with sourdough, right? Because it's just kind of sticky. So I'm like, do I even need flax seeds in this?
Yeah. Yes. It's good though.
Thank you, babe.
Super good.
Glad you liked it. Okay.
Yes. I need to buy more bananas for me though.
Oh.
I like bananas.
They're good.
They are really good. I like eating them. I don't just like putting them in baked desserts.
Nice. But I am thinking about doing the diet thing. Oh, I gotta get into shape.
Diets don't work though, Bubs. I hope you think of it clearly.
Okay, babes. I do want to lose some weight and get into better shape.
I don't think you're huge though.
Oh.
I do need to jump on my trampoline again because I've been lax on it. Sometimes I would jump in the morning or I would jump in the afternoon, but I need to do it again because I gotta keep up my girlish figure.
That's right.
Even if I don't look, huge or anything.
No, you're not.
Thank you.
I wouldn't be dating you if you were half full.
Oh.
I'd take you down to the market and I'd milk you.
Oh, jeez.
And then I'd say, here's a milk for my half full.
There is an organization called Heifer International where you can buy like a whole cow for struggling families in different countries or something. I forgot what it was.
Interesting.
Heifer International, yeah.
Nice.
But anyway, no, I do need to get into my own exercise routine.
Yes, you do. But so do I.
So do you.
Yes. But you're skinnier than I am, so.
Yes. But I still need to I still need to get a little bit more in shape.
Oh. I read a couple books this week, babes.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. Why would I mind?
I don't know. Maybe you don't want me to read.
Oh my. All right.
On Monday, I was having a virtual dinner, and one of my friends, who is a conservative, recommended me a book called My Heart Is Not Blind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's very interesting because he said something, this made me glad to not be a woman because they go through so many more struggles.
Yeah.
I've noticed him starting to use more like lefty type of language, which I don't have a problem with.
Of course you don't.
I think that's really cool, actually.
Of course it is.
One would say maybe I'm a positive influence on this person.
No.
I think he would say that.
Or maybe he's not a positive influence on you, though.
Oh.
I don't know this person, but I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Anyways, it's basically different essays from blind people about how they deal with this disability. Mm-hmm. One lady was just the most depressing thing. Mm-hmm. I may be having it a bit wrong, but the way I remember it was she lost whatever vision she had by the time she was 2.
Oh, wow.
Which in itself isn't the end of the world.
No.
But she had a younger brother.
Yeah.
When he was born, the mom died from complications of labor.
Oh, wow.
As a result, he ended up with a major case of CP.
Wow.
So he was in a wheelchair couldn't talk, and had to go through life that way.
Mm-hmm.
Was going through school. They were super close. At the age of 18, he gets a blood transplant.
A transfusion, right?
Transfusion.
Yes.
This must have been in the 80s because he got AIDS and passed away.
Oh, jeez. How long was it after he got the transplant?
She did not go into specifics, and it's a
That
transfusion.
is so sad.
Yes. There was another guy whose brother shot him when he was like 3, and the brother was around 12.
Wow.
The parents sided with the older brother. At least that's the impression I got. Right? So who knows how much of this is true and how much of it is incorrect or misinterpreted by me.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I would be standing waiting for a bus while it's raining, and my brother would just be driving a car. And he said that the brother was super rude to him.
Wow.
When the mom died, she made the older brother the executor of the estate.
Oh, wow.
And the older brother didn't give him anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that they never really got along, obviously.
That would be my assumption. And then he said that one of the brother's sons died, and the brother called to apologize to him.
Wow.
And
after his son died?
Yeah.
Wow.
I would not have accepted that apology. I would have just said something messed up and hung up the phone.
Well, I think he had some time to think about it.
I would have been like, well, I'm glad your son didn't get to live to see you grovel to me. Or, something really fucked up, and then I would slam down the phone.
That's what bitterness does to you.
Whoa.
It can kill you faster than any disease.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I think life is too short to be so bitter.
Nice.
If he has an opportunity to get along with his brother, then I'm glad he took it. That's how I feel about it.
Oh. What's weird, babes? It's fun to curse somebody out, but I find that immediately afterwards I feel bad.
That's interesting, Bubs. That's really interesting. But you didn't feel bad about it before.
No, I did. I mean, there are certain times when it feels good. Right, but for the most part, as soon as I yell at somebody, I feel really shitty about it.
Yeah, well, you should. It's not supposed to make you feel good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That shows that you are rethinking what you say. Because
I'm somebody who analyzes things.
Yes. Well, that's good though.
Yes.
I'm glad that it shows that you have a heart, and you're like, wow, I really messed up.
There's only been a few times when I've really gone after somebody and I felt better about it.
Okay. Like
one time I wrote a relative a letter where I just chastised them, and you know how I am.
Yeah.
And I thought about it for a while to I'm going to make this rhyme and do it in a poem and be very clever about it.
Yeah.
And my dad's side of the family got really, really upset with me.
Yeah.
And I just stuck by my guns because I knew I was in the right. But usually I feel bad about that type of thing.
Yeah, I think there are times where you really have to express yourself, and you have to say, look, I'm not going to let you do this to me anymore, and I'm going to tell you why, and just let the chips fall where they may.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do that with ex-friends too, because I just had enough, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be your friend anymore because of this.
I guess
sometimes you have to do that.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect to go here.
Well, I wasn't expecting to go here.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, babes.
All right.
There is somebody I know who I still consider a friend, whose number I have blocked from my phone. And we've talked about that a little bit here.
Oh, yes.
So if this person tries to text me or call me, I won't see that.
You'll only get emails.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm anticipating it may happen soon. I don't know. So I decided, instead of just wondering, well, what would I say to them?
Yeah.
I wrote out a rough draft of an email.
Oh, geez.
It's in my notes, so it's on my.
It's in your drafts.
It's in my Google Keep, which is a note app.
Oh, okay.
That I really like using.
Okay.
Potentially, I could copy the text and just paste it into the email if he ever asked me.
Right.
And I felt good after I wrote it.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does make you feel good because you get your ideas out. I mean, it doesn't, obviously it doesn't make you feel good all the time, but I think that because you had so much pent up resentment, and I'm guessing, right?
Yes.
Resentment and anger and...
You know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. Yes. And I think we're assuming it's a he, right? Yes. So I think that this person would really, I think he would deserve to know that. I mean, really know that, because you are holding this person accountable when nobody has held this person accountable, it seems like.
I wasn't rude about it too.
Okay.
Like I even though I tried to tell them off,
yeah,
I did it in...
You did it in a way that was more kinder,
but where I got the message across. And I even say in the text of the message, I realize this may be confusing, so feel free to share this with some friends or a mental health professional. Yeah,
right. But if you explained yourself in a way that wasn't rude, wasn't rude or anything, he probably might understand it.
There were one or two lines in there where I'm like, oh, maybe I hit him with this and hit him with that. But in the past, that would have been an entire email, those types of lines.
Yeah, right.
And you do want to make somebody think a little bit.
Yes.
Yes. So.
Yeah, but sometimes those things... I think sometimes those things have to come out, and if they come out in a more constructive way, that's better, because we would have more time to think about it, and you didn't come out with it when you were just really, really, really angry at this person.
I will tell you this. Part of me wanted just to send this email this week when I wrote it, but then I thought, no, let them reach out to me.
Yeah.
Because if I do that, then that would be a step too far, I think. Just to hit them with it out of nowhere without them asking.
Yeah, I think that you should wait till the door opens.
Yeah.
Because then you'll have some time to, if you wanted to edit it or, make some changes, add some more things to it, then you have some time to figure out what you want to send, if you want to send it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good strategy.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As opposed to just going off on somebody.
And I really don't like writing things to people or telling them what they did wrong. I hate that. I really do. I'm the kind of person that wants people to be happy with me, and they not wanting me to be an enemy of anybody, right? And that's a part of the ENFJ thing, and I don't really put too much talk into it, but
that's a Myers-Briggs personality thing.
Yes, right? I'm definitely a feeler, and that's not like that. Hey.
Go ahead. I tried to touch your vagina.
Hey.
Oh, you just... Oh.
Hey.
All right, back to this.
I didn't mean to do that. And by the way, you shouldn't have mentioned it on the...
Okay, I was making that up. Keep going, babes.
No, but I'm the kind of person that doesn't want to tell people what they've done wrong or how I find what they're doing is a problem. I don't like it.
On multiple occasions,
don't
babes.
Like it. Mm-hmm.
Instead of just being upfront with a person, my reaction has been write a poem about them and perform it at an open mic.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. It's not a good idea. Because you know how much trouble you got into before? By the way, when you've gotten in trouble with these people, were they your friends again? Were they still your friends? Or did they completely blow you off and say, I'm not your friend anymore because you said this?
It depends on the situation. Which particular one are you thinking about?
It doesn't matter. I mean, a friendship, basically.
I've had it both ways, where I've done it and people are like, I'm pissed at you. And then I've had it to where I've done it and it's like, no big deal.
Right.
Yes.
I didn't take it as a bad thing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And I remember one time, babes, I had this ex-roommate get mad at me because they had found a poem that I wrote about them, and then
Yeah.
like 24 hours later, I'd start joking with them, and then like, well, this is how you know that you're somebody who means something to me, because I blasted you in a poem.
Well, I, for one, am glad that you didn't blast me in a poem.
No, babes, no. But that means you can't break up with me. Because then I will blast you.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
Yes.
That's something to think about.
I'm not gonna break up, okay.
Okay.
No. But,
well, it's kind of like, don't break up with Taylor Swift, otherwise she'll write a song about you.
Okay.
She'll write a song about your romance.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you will end up in my poetry in kind of a negative way, whether or not we break up or not. But that's part of being with me. What?
You mean I am not? I'm prone to be I'm prone to be written about in a negative way.
Well, babe, that's what you signed up for when you started going out with me.
You never told me that.
We met at a poetry reading. You said you liked my poetry.
It was an open mic, and yes, I did say I liked your poetry, but I never thought that I would be in any of your poems. Well, I was at one point.
And you will be again.
A couple of times, actually.
And there's going to be more of that in the future, babes.
Oh, no.
That's the other thing, too, Jaylo. With society reopening, I got to start thinking about putting pen to pad again and writing some new stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But the only thing is, everybody wants to talk about the pandemic, including me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really have a new take on it.
You don't think so? It was just you thought about it the same way that you thought about it when this was going on? The beginning of it?
What I mean is, I don't think I'm going to be able to add anything to the conversation that any other poet wouldn't say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is something that I really want to talk about.
You could just talk about not just things shutting down, but what you were, what the kind of things that you did during this time.
I thought about that angle.
Well, whether it was watching movies, whether it's spending time with me, or getting a chance to spend time with your friends,
Mm-hmm.
Virtual conversations, reading books, writing poetry. You could do so much with that.
I might hit it up from that angle. The other thing is, like, Joe Biden, to me, it's like, what am I going to say about Joe Biden and Trump during the last year?
What are you going to say that a lot
hasn't thought of?
What are you going to say that a lot of people have already said, whether they're for them or against them?
What I might do is do a pro-Biden poem about how great it is that he ended the Me Too movement. That's the only thing I could think of.
I don't think you should go there.
Okay.
What would you? That would only I think that would only consist of 3 lines.
No, I can make it longer. I can stretch something out.
What is there to write?
Times, something about time. I don't know.
Time's Up is a different one.
No, but that's one of the organizations he helped stop.
Oh, yeah.
Or his accuser.
Well, I know that that Time's Up was going after Mr. R. Kelly, who I believe might still be in jail.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, that's different.
Hashtag justice for Kelly.
No.
Hashtag respect the R.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad you're not a fan.
I'm not. I like some of his stuff. I'm not a huge fan, but I like some of his music.
What I should say is I'm glad that you believe he's guilty.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's been guilty for a long time.
It still shocks me, babe, and I don't want to get into a tickle thing.
Oh, no.
That you think that Bill Cosby is innocent.
Because I told you why. I just don't see... there's just something really fishy about this case. I just don't understand why after 30 plus years that these women are coming out and basically saying the same thing. It just sounds very strange to me, and I can't I don't know how else to describe it. There's just something about this case that doesn't sound right to me.
I would tell you that even before I was in the arts, in the late 90s, I remember hearing stories that he was a perv.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Okay.
I never heard anything about that.
I feel like this stuff has been out there. But he is really funny, though. Unless he's.
I do want to tell our listeners a funny thing that he said in a routine, because I told you this one and you thought it was really funny. Shall I go into it just to be on a lighter note?
Let's hear from Jaylo Cosby.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead.
So, so his wife said, I want you to get up and I want you to make the children breakfast. And he's like, I don't want to. And he's like, I want you to get up and I want you to make the children breakfast. And he's like, okay. So he goes downstairs. He's very upset. He's slamming the pan down, and then he looks in the fridge and he's like, he sees this chocolate cake. And he's like, I know what? I'll give them that. What's in it? Eggs, wheat, all the good stuff that, for a nutritious breakfast. And he says, okay, what shall I give them to drink? Oh, I know what. Grapefruit juice. So probably has more sugar in it. And so all the kids come down, and he has a chocolate cake, and one of his little daughters is like, Daddy, what is that? And he said, what do you mean? That thing that you're holding behind you. What is it? It's a chocolate cake. It's like, so he gets a chocolate cake and he says, okay, I'm going to give you chocolate cake for breakfast. And so he says, and then the kids are really happy. They get their chocolate cake and their grape juice, and they're singing, Dad is great, giving us chocolate cake. And so his wife sees this. She's not happy. His description of her was even funnier. But she comes downstairs and she looks at him and she's like, why did you give the kids chocolate cake? That was one of his funny stories.
I know that I talk about Howard Stern on this podcast a lot.
Of course.
Especially recently, I've been noticing. I think it's because we're in more that I've been listening to his show a lot. Mm-hmm. But on Tuesday, he had on Arsenio Hall. Which is really interesting considering their past conflict.
Oh, I didn't know they had a conflict.
So I'll give you the quick story. Joan Rivers used to have a talk show.
Yes, she did.
Back in the day.
Can we talk?
And there was some talk of Howard Stern replacing her.
Oh, wow.
She was fired. There was still a little bit more time on her contract. Uh-huh. So they had Arsenio guest host the show. And Howard Stern was like a huge Joan Rivers supporter.
Oh, wow.
So he comes on the show and just like lays into Arsenio.
Wow.
On the show. Calling him a horrible host, saying that he's the reason why her husband committed suicide.
Oh, so he came on his own show.
He came on what was the Joan Rivers show, but it was being guest hosted by Arsenio.
Okay.
And just laid into him. And then he laid into him on the radio show.
Wow.
When Arsenio got his own show, Howard said that he should drop dead.
Wow.
But anyways, that's not why I brought that up.
Okay.
When they were talking this week, Arsenio was mentioning Bill Cosby. And he said, whatever you think of him now, he was a really great joke teller. And the example he gave was, he said that there were times where he would go out to dinner with Bill Cosby. And later on that night, Cosby would get on stage and do a routine about the dinner. And he said that his routines about the dinner that they just ate was so good that it could have gone on an album right then.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Imagine those are your skills in life, rape and comedy.
He did a really funny routine about skiing for the first time.
Bill Cosby?
Yeah, he goes, I understand why. He's like, and I got on the slopes and my face was frozen, and I understand why Germans talk like the way they do in movies, because their faces are so cold. and then he had this one routine about getting his tooth pulled out, and he's like, and he's like, his saliva was like dripping down because his lips were very numb. He's like, I hope you're satisfied. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Miss
But
Cosby.
You have to, I have a recording of Bill Cosby himself.
I've listened to Why Is There Air?
I like the ones where he was, I like the one where he's talking about his little brother and how he wanted to flush him down the toilet.
Wait, is that To Russell, Who I Slept With?
No,
Is that the name of the album?
No. That was from Bill Cosby himself.
Okay.
Because that was from his Bill Cosby himself one, nice. And he was saying, yes, the brother I think wanted to know what happens when you flush something down the toilet. Okay, I'll kill you. You want to find out? Oh, you. You're going to flush down the toilet.
We've talked about this before. Babes.
Yes.
I'm curious, did you ever go back and read Bill Cosby's Playboy interview?
No, I don't. No. Mm-mm.
You should really do that.
Why? You said that the Playboy interviews are pretty interesting, right?
They're hit and miss, but his was really interesting.
Really?
Because most of it feels like it's just this regular profile of a celebrity from the 60s. Like, oh, he's a successful black man who's made it in acting, and he makes this much money from a stand-up performance, has a happy family, goes to work at the comedy clubs when he's not on I Spy.
Right.
And then when you think the article is supposed to wrap up, it takes this really weird but cool turn into the politics of the time. And you got to remember, when I was growing up, I looked at Bill Cosby as this conservative guy who would always take pot shots at other black comedians for using curse words. I didn't really know that he had a more radical side to him when he was younger, but it comes out in the Playboy interview.
Oh, wow.
So you think
he also went on record with talking about really criticizing the use of Ebonics.
Yeah. But in this interview, you think it's just a fluff piece.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it takes this turn and he starts talking about the civil rights movement. And his take surprised me because I considered him to be one of those people.
But he may have changed his ideas as he got older.
Yeah, because he got super rich and out of touch with the public. And, giving people his pudding pops.
That doesn't mean that he got out of touch with the public. He probably just changed it. People have a right to change their own views.
But it is interesting that he went after black men for not being good fathers, and he had a daughter, we believe, with somebody who was not his wife.
Okay, I didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about Autumn Jackson?
No.
You should do some research.
I thought maybe that may have been Joe Jackson's, I'm talking about Michael Jackson's father, Joe Jackson's daughter or something.
There's a little bit of speculation on whether or not she was his daughter, but what I think has been proven in court is he definitely had an affair with her mother when he was married to his wife, and she was born within a time period that implies that she could have in fact been his daughter.
But that may not have been true either.
I think he refused to take a DNA test.
Okay.
And he had pictures of her on the set of the Cosby Show.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yes. You do some research on that. It was a big case.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was never proven conclusively, but there's evidence but there's a good amount of evidence to suggest that she was his daughter.
Okay.
Yes. Including him admitting to cheating on his wife.
But I like I said, I don't really,
I believe he admitted to that.
Oh, okay.
I don't want him to sue me. That's why I said that.
Oh.
It's got to be like weird for, what's her name? Camille,
yeah.
Yeah, to have been married to Bill Cosby, like for 50 years, you're considered somebody great in the black community. No, not in the black community.
Well, it wasn't just a black community, because not everybody that watched his show is black either.
I know. And as soon as I said that, I'm like, that's not true.
That's not true, yeah. No.
It's more like the white community when you think about it.
Not necessarily. I mean, I'm not a black person. I used to watch the Cosby Show all the time. Yeah,
but I'm saying it's more in the white community that he was considered a star, I think, right?
No, it was both.
Okay.
No, it wasn't just the white community. I mean, a lot of black families are watching the show. A lot of white families, Asian families. It wasn't, it wasn't like your typical portrayal of a black family.
I saw the Cosby Show, obviously, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But it was never like my favorite TV show.
I watched it every Thursday night when it was on because it was also next to Family Ties. And those were the two shows that my family and I would watch every Thursday. So that was like a a staple in our house.
Oh wow! It was to me. It was like if I see it, I see it. But I didn't miss it.
There were other shows that we watched, but The Cosby Show and Family Ties, when they were big hits on TV, we always watched it on Thursday.
You were into it then?
I was, yes.
Okay.
I was. Yes, I mean,
oh goodness, Rudy's on screen.
In fact, one of my relatives named their daughter Rudy. after one of the kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys like that show then?
We did like that show. That was one of my favorite shows.
I thought it was okay, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't for me. For me.
You don't know good TV when you see it, Bubs.
Oh, I know good TV. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Should we get into Frasier?
Yes, we should get into Frasier, which I really don't know if I want to watch the, anyway, go on.
A good friend of mine, we already knew this was coming down the pipeline, that Kelsey Grammer had agreed to be in a remake.
Right.
Or a reboot, rather, of Frasier.
Yeah.
This week, a friend of mine who texted me and said, Rick, did you hear the news? There's going to be a new Frasier. And I texted him back saying, I have heard that. I will watch it, but that is a horrible idea.
I think it is a horrible idea.
But he's excited about it.
Now, if it turns out to be as good as like the Roseanne reboot, because it was only, we only watched one season of it, the both of us, then maybe, if we find out that actually is getting good ratings, maybe. But
here's the thing.
I think it's a bad idea.
What if they cancel Kelsey Grammer after one season like they did to Roseanne?
I don't know.
And then they continue the show off without him.
Yeah, but that remains to be seen, Bub.
That's true.
That remains to be seen. Although we are both on the same page as to why Roseanne should not have been canceled.
Yeah, but we've covered that.
But we've covered it. I just don't know that rebooting... and Kelsey Grammer isn't getting any younger either.
No.
He's probably in his 70s.
And the story was completed. They wrapped it up great.
So good.
Yeah.
What else could he be doing in San Francisco? I mean, trying to find Charlotte?
Having sex with Patricia Heaton?
Patricia Heaton? That wasn't her. That was Laura Linney.
No, but they were I think they were on a TV show after Frasier.
Which one?
It's called like Down to You or something.
Oh,
and it was based in San Francisco.
Down to You. That was a movie.
Okay, I might have it wrong then. In any case,
or maybe I'm sorry. Down to You. That might have been. Was it a show?
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I thought that they did a TV show together.
You might have been. You might have been right about that. But then she went off to do a different one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. She's a conservative.
Yeah.
And he's a conservative.
I heard that I didn't hear about her politics, but I heard a little bit about her. I don't really keep track on what's going on with her, though.
Why don't you like her?
No, I never said I didn't like her. I heard she was a Christian, but I don't know.
Oh.
Because, what?
No, go ahead.
I don't know, because I'm very skeptical. A lot of Hollywood people come out as Christians, and they don't leave Hollywood, and I think it's kind of strange, but...
No, I think she has kids and is married and hates gay people, so it's...
That's another misconception.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that there, Jill. Well, I was concerned for me and it.
No, I mean, that's a misconception in general.
You don't have to hate gay people to be
No, you don't have to. No, it's not that it's not so much the person, but it's the practice.
Oh.
It's the practice that the conservatives are concerned about, not the person, not the people. There's a difference.
Fascinating.
There is a difference.
Oh.
It's not the. Yeah. Anyway, but I don't know. I don't know much about her politics. I just heard that she was a Christian, but then who knows? She may not be. I don't know. I'm very skeptical about a lot of Hollywood people coming out and saying it because sometimes they don't act that way or what have you.
I will say this. Even though I've heard she's conservative, she does seem like a nice lady, from what I can tell.
I think she had a cooking show. I looked at her up on YouTube a while back, and I think she had a cooking show. Okay,
and I did like her in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
I know it's not cool to say that you like that show.
What?
I'm just saying, I've heard that you're not supposed to say that you liked Everybody Loves Raymond if you want to be cool.
It's
not my favorite show. Exactly.
It's not my favorite show.
I haven't seen every episode.
I'll watch it like if I don't know what to watch.
It's better than The Cosby Show.
Oh, jeez. You haven't even watched a lot of it, Bubs. What would you know?
Even though one of my cousins named her daughter after one of the little girls.
Did she?
No.
No, Bubs, that was my relative.
Oh. Did I tell you, babes?
What?
I don't know if I can say it here. God damn it.
What? Don't say it then.
All right, I won't.
You can tell me in private.
I'll tell you in private.
All right.
I wish I knew if I could say this here, but
okay.
Because I'm not going to say it.
Okay, don't.
Sometimes you got to hold back.
Yeah, sometimes you got to hold your tongue, Bubs.
Yes, babes.
Sometimes you gotta do that. Yeah, I know you have a hard time holding your tongue.
Oh, maybe you should hold it for me. In
No.
your mouth of a giant.
Oh my goodness! Would you stop?
Sorry, babes. Let's talk more about books.
Okay.
In the late 90s,
Uh-huh.
Michael Eisner,
Yes.
who was running Disney at the time,
Yeah.
was promoting his memoir.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called Work in Progress.
Yeah.
About a year ago, I downloaded it off of Bard.
Okay.
I keep telling myself, I'm going to read this or listen to this soon. One day. And then I wake up and I realize one day will never come unless I let it.
Yes.
So yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I got up very early.
Yes.
At around 2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Put some laundry in the washing machine.
That was the one day that you didn't sleep very well, right?
Correct. Came back to my apartment and thought, I need something to keep me awake.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I start off with the Eisner book?
Yeah.
And I finished it yesterday.
And you said it was really good.
It was pretty good. Now, obviously, he's going to put his own slant on things. You know, I was right about this. Maybe I made a few mistakes, but look at all the great stuff I did.
Uh-huh.
But I really enjoyed it.
Good.
I thought it was well done.
Good.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is the way he talked about Frank Wells, who was another executive at Disney. And I don't know how much you know about him.
I don't know much about him. I believe I've heard his name before, but I don't know much about it. I'm just extending my my arm here
in honor of Frank Wells.
No. I'm elevating it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Frank Wells died in a helicopter accident.
Ah, not good.
And Michael Eisner didn't say this directly in his book, but it's been speculated that that's when things started to go downhill with him and Disney.
Really?
With the Disney company or board of directors, because he replaced Mr. Wells with Michael Ovitz, and Eisner and Ovitz were friends before this, but they had a falling out because Ovitz had a huge ego and caused a lot of people to leave the organization.
Really?
And they talk about that in the book, or he does. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering, maybe you don't know the answer to this, but what can we learn about having a successful creative team from Frank Wells and Michael Eisner?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
I can't answer that question. Why did you ask me the question?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I never read the book.
What I think it says to us, though, is chemistry is very hard to find. Right? Mm-hmm. And when you locate somebody who you can connect with and have like a creative shorthand with, you really need to nurture those relationships. Mm-hmm. But it's more than that, because it's in no way Michael Eisner's fault that Frank Wells died.
Yes.
And I think when you're put into a situation like that, when a business/creative partner passes away suddenly, who you have chemistry with, I don't know if this is really a lesson, but you do have to be aware that your career might be different now, like really different, because some people you just can't replace easily.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. I mean, it's like if you died, and I somehow get in contact with Mike Ovitz and replace you, and this becomes Green Ovitz and Jaylo, the kissing at the end is going to be very different.
You wouldn't be kissing him.
No. Have you ever read his book, Michael Ovitz's book?
No, I had never even heard of this guy.
Really?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, so he was this very famous agent back in the day. Mm-hmm. He's known for a lot of things, but a quick example would be when David Letterman was having his feud with NBC.
Yes.
Because Helen Kushnick got Jaylo The Tonight Show.
Ah.
Michael Ovitz was the agent who brought him over to CBS and got him his production deal, Worldwide Pants.
By the way, is Worldwide Pants?
That was the name of David Letterman's production company.
Oh, by the way, was David Letterman supposed to be, because I didn't hear about this until today, was he supposed to be the new host?
Of The Tonight
Show, yeah.
It's not that it was written in stone, but Johnny Carson apparently wanted him to take over after Johnny left.
Okay.
There's an interesting book called The Late Shift about this. Mm-hmm. And it was made into an HBO movie, which isn't that good. But the book is pretty interesting.
Wow.
And it goes into this whole thing about how Jay Leno and his agent Helen Kushnick pushed for him to be the new host. And apparently Jay Leno hid in a closet during some board meeting with these NBC executives and used that information as leverage to get him the hosting gig.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
To getting the hosting gig for
The Tonight Show.
The Tonight Show, wow.
Because if you remember, Jay Leno was like the regular fill-in guy for Johnny for a number of years.
I didn't know that, actually. Mm-hmm. I didn't watch a lot of The Tonight Show growing up. So
okay, well, Johnny would have these guest hosts because at one point, I think he worked 3 days a week near the last few years of his contract. Mm-hmm. And so you'd obviously have to have people fill in.
Right.
Leno was one of the regular guys. Carson tells people a year before his contract up that he's going to leave. Mm. And Carson was a big proponent of David Letterman. Mm-hmm. He produced David Letterman's show. Mm-hmm. And wanted him to take over, and the network went with Jay Leno. Anyways, I'm getting off track.
Yes, you are.
But point of story is Michael Ovitz helped get David Letterman his sweetheart deal with CBS and represented a lot of movie stars. Mm-hmm. He wrote a book, and I noticed with these executive books, they're honest to a point, right? Mm-hmm. Like, let's take Eisner for an example, since that was the last book I read.
Right.
He talked about his successes, and he mentioned the trouble with Euro Disney. Mm-hmm. He went into it a little bit, but there was a spin like things were going to look up.
Okay.
Right. So, and there's always these little like spins in these memoirs from executives, but they're still interesting to read.
Okay.
How do you feel about that? Have you ever read a memoir from an executive?
I have not.
Are you going to start?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. I know I'm not giving you very definite answers, but I don't know. It's possible. Possible. Anything's possible.
Well, good.
Good.
Well, anything is possible, okay?
Okay.
Yes, how are you feeling, babes?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good. I feel very rested today.
Nice. There
was a couple of days where I really took like more than one nap that I usually take, and my body was just like, it just seemed like every time a season change, every time a season changes, it really affects my sleep schedule. And I never went through this when I was living in Hawaii, because obviously it's like summer all year.
Correct.
Unless you're like in the mountains, living on Haleakala and you're seeing snow every year, or all the time. But, I just never had that problem when I was living in Hawaii. it was always fine. Nice. But now that I live in the Northwest, and I've been in the Northwest longer than I've been in Hawaii, it's like, why do I feel tired every time winter changes into spring, or spring changes into fall, or vice versa? So, anyway.
Very nice, babes.
Yes.
Alana.
Yes.
Did you have any dreams over the last couple of days?
I did not.
I had a weird one yesterday.
What happened? Actually, no, I did.
Okay.
I did, but you go tell your dream first.
Do you ever watch that show Rising?
No.
With Crystal and Sagar?
No.
It's really good. Crystal Ball is this liberal lady, and Sagar, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but he's conservative.
Yeah.
But they're both honest. Like, she's not a Joe Biden fan, and I think he's a Trump supporter, but he has issues with Trump.
Okay.
So it's not like they're just like towing the party line.
Okay.
And in fact, I was watching Sagar. I was watching their show for a few months before I knew that Sagar was a Trump supporter.
Oh wow!
So that goes to show you how, even though they have their views, they also have their own views. It's not just the party's views.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, in the dream, Sagar is giving commentary about some politician and saying, he thinks he's suave and good looking, but he's really ugly, and he's trying to promote himself as a ladies' man, but he doesn't look good at all. And I was getting offended by some reason.
Oh, but he was saying that about some politician.
Yeah,
okay.
And I don't remember who it was.
Okay.
So this was offending me. I tried turning off my TV.
Yeah.
It wasn't going off.
Yeah.
So I unplugged the TV.
Yeah.
And then my TV shuts down for a minute. Then it comes back to life. And Sagar's making the same commentary. I try to turn down the volume on my TV. Then it comes back up. And I just can't get away from his commentary, trashing this politician for his looks. Now, he doesn't do that on the show, but in my dream, he did that. And I remember getting very disturbed, and that's when I woke up.
It's funny, you can't, like in your dreams, it's like you can't run away from stuff like that, right? You try to shut it off, it keeps coming on. I've had dreams about covering my ears during a song, and it just keeps following me, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, stop it.
But babes,
yes,
you had a dream.
If I remember this correctly, I think you were at my house with my family, and I don't remember what the event was, but I think in the dream, you were kind of getting annoyed with like my sister or something.
Oh.
It was very strange. It was weird that I had a dream with you over at my family's place.
Oh.
It was very strange.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but that was it.
Oh.
And then I woke up.
Very good, you. Whoa.
Yes.
Have you been doing any self-love practices over the last 6 days?
Getting more sleep.
Okay.
Sleep is so good for you. And I guess, when your body tells you that you have to sleep, you have to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what happened. I needed to rejuvenate myself. If you would call that self-love, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
for me, I've been going back to journaling.
Yeah.
And getting outside a little bit more.
Oh, good.
And I think one of the reasons I've been having trouble with sleep this week is because I am starting to get excited about reopening. So that's a good thing.
I guess my maybe I should clear this up. I mean, I'm not really into the self-love thing, but I think the way I see it is like self-care. More like it.
Okay.
Than self-love.
Nice. Why are you against self-love?
I think it's because of how it's being circulated, as far as what a more worldly, secular view about what self-love is. And, I don't know. I think it's because of how, people are so much into, loving more of their self than loving other people.
Oh.
I keep hearing that you need to love yourself before you can love other people. And in some ways that is true, but some people are so much into loving themselves and whatever it is and giving themselves affirmations. It just sounds very new age.
Yeah, it does seem like a thing that a lot of people who are in their 30s but have super rich parents do. Mm-hmm. So like they never had to work and they could travel around the world and meet all these interesting people, and now they're into self-love.
Yeah, but
I have noticed some of that. Okay,
but I think that it is good to take care of yourself and to love yourself by doing that. But what about loving other people and finding ways to help other people out?
Yes.
And stepping outside of your own comfort zone and helping other people, loving other people, whether they have the same views about stuff or whether they have different views.
When the pandemic is over, how do you want to give back to your community?
That is a really good question.
Thank you there.
Well, I've often talked about getting back into performing again, right? Because that's something that really gives me joy. Maybe one thing, and a friend of mine talked about this a while back, and unfortunately we haven't been able to hang out with each other because of this. But we were thinking about maybe playing music at nursing homes.
Nice.
And that's one thing to get back to the community. I also mentioned that I want to get back into an ensemble again because I love it. I love meeting people that are that really love playing the flute and are either doing it because they love it or doing it because they want to make a living out of it or what have you, because they're all from different backgrounds in this ensemble. And just meeting people, getting to know them, getting to know their backgrounds. That's a couple of things I've been thinking about. What do you think?
That could work.
Were you thinking about doing something to give back to the community or to make people's lives a little more joyful?
I was thinking about befriending some old people because I know they keep cash on them.
Oh, jeez.
Going to their apartments, helping them unload their groceries, and pickpocketing. And taking that money.
I know you're joking.
And buying a new flute for my Jaylo. No,
I like my flute, though.
I do, too. It hasn't been something that I've come up with a definite answer to. But I would like to figure out a way to give back. Some way, I feel my way of giving back is by showing people that you can be happy. Because I do laugh a lot.
Oh, yes.
And I think in some ways, maybe, I don't want to sound too spiritual and offend you, but maybe that's one of the reasons God put me onto this planet, is to have a good time.
Why would I be offended?
Well, I don't know. Because if I have a good time, I can show other people how to have a good time.
Right.
I remember once, babes, I don't know if I told you this story. This was years ago. I was out in Boulder with a really good friend of mine, the one from Atlanta. And
the one I met, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Who asked if you had any sisters.
Oh, jeez.
But we were just hanging out one day, and we were, eating lunch.
Yeah.
Walking around Boulder, giving each other shit. But it was playful, We weren't trying to anger each other. We were just giving each other shit like guys do. And we were laughing and we were enjoying each other. So later on that night, I'm talking with this lady whose son is blind. And she's telling me, I'm having a discussion with her and I'm explaining, you can still have an enjoyable time even if you don't have any vision.
Yeah.
Her son was in his 20s, but he had just lost his vision recently.
Oh, okay.
And she says, you might be right. My husband said that he saw these two blind guys walking around Boulder today, just like having a really good time. So I told my friend that, and we both had a good.
Oh, wait! That may have been the two of you.
Yes, that was.
Well, wait a minute now. So how did you have this conversation with this lady? Did you meet her at a restaurant with your friend?
Let's just say I met her at an event, and let's keep it at that.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
She never mentioned whether that may have been the two of you. Actually, now that I think about it.
Of course, babes.
Yes.
That was our thought.
That's hilarious.
Yes. That's what I was trying to say.
That is hilarious, Bubs.
Yes. So that's how I give back, is by enjoying myself. My charity is self-enjoyment.
Well, what about cooking for people?
I guess that's another thing I could do.
Well, you are a good cook. I mean, and I've cooked with you, and I've had things that you've made for me, and you've baked stuff for me, the banana bread, hint. Yes. And what if you, I don't know, just for fun, inviting people over to have some of your food?
That's an idea. One thing that has come up this week, especially on Monday, when I had that virtual dinner, we were talking about what if the guys come to Oregon, some of my friends, and we have a fun few days. So maybe also having fun events with my friends, right? And
yeah.
helping, but like really helping to plan those.
Yeah.
So that they have a good time. And part of that may include cooking for them.
Yeah.
You know.
Or cooking
just,
with them.
Yeah, or just introducing them to people who I think would be beneficial for them to know.
That's a good idea.
So those are some of the ways I've been considering.
Yeah.
Helping my community.
Yeah, and I've also thought about reaching out to friends that I know are much older than I am. And, just, I can't wait till things open up, because the one friend that I mentioned just a few minutes ago is an older woman. She's a really nice lady, and I don't know. I mean, before this whole thing happened, she was really, really busy and doing a whole bunch of things, and I really I'm thinking about reaching out to her and really doing some things with her, not just the nursing home stuff, but hanging out with her, going to different places and stuff that, places that she thinks that are really nice. And, cause she seems like she knows a lot of places that she likes to go to, and she just seems like a cool lady. Yeah. So, and she doesn't seem to have like a ton of baggage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very good, Jaylo.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, cause I don't feel like I have a lot of friends in Portland that I've met.
Oh.
I have a few, but it's kind of hard to see them because everybody's shut in. So.
Yes, but it looks like that may be ending soon.
Yes.
Which we are excited about.
Yes.
Yes. Jaylo.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else you want to discuss?
No, I think this has been a really good episode. I hope it. Whoever listens to this, I hope it makes them think.
Yes.
And learn how to be happy. Have a good time.
I'm thinking, babes.
Yes.
You and I should make out. Then I have to pee. Perhaps after that, maybe we should watch some DS9.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's try this, because now, how do you kiss somebody? I'm not familiar with this. I've heard people discuss.
You've kissed me this morning when you came to my door.
I don't remember that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Okay.
I once had this roommate, babe. Who's
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Do you think that's to discuss that?
No.
Why not?
No, I just think it's inappropriate.
Oh.
I'll just say it this way, Bubs. His roommate's, at one time, girlfriend, makes a lot of weird noises. That's all I'm going to say.
During sex. What was that for?
That's all I was going to say, Bubs.
Stop, please, stop.
Mm.
Ow. I love you, babes. All right. Let's go have some fun.
Oh my goodness.
Some things I'm not allowed to talk about here.
No, yeah.
Yes. All right, Jay. Well.
All right then. All right, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Even though this will not be coming out on a Friday.
But happy Friday anyway.
Re-listen to this on a Friday.
Have a good laugh.
And enjoy all the mistakes I made. Or the many times I repeated myself talking about how Bugsy wasn't choosing a different film would be intellectually dishonest. Because I think I said that about 7 times.
Yeah.
It would be intellectually dishonest. Sometimes I listen back to these babes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I repeating myself so much?
That's okay. I've repeated myself before.
That's right.
I have.
Oh, good.
But I realize that I have. So it's not like I'm repeating it and I'm like, oh, did I just say that after I just said it?
Oh.
I don't realize it afterwards.
They were good, babes.
Anyways.
All right. Enjoy yourselves.
All right.
People.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.